Why, hello there, fellow fabricators. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld, the Stalwart Ancients. Episode 10, Ramping Up Our Workshop for War. So, Mr. Aggro, let's get you off of Super Hall and start mining up the advanced components, or the compacted machinery, I should say, to try to figure out how much compacted machinery we have available to us, to figure out whether or not I need to, like, come up with more somehow. Oh, I screwed this bill up. Let's get rid of that. Well, it's good that we temporarily solved that, like, medicine shortage problem. One thing I want to do is the vault should take the Arca cap. And Flip, you should grab the heavy SMG. There we go. Aggro, I'm going to have you quickly eat, and then enter the vault to continue moving slag. So you're by far the fastest at it. And Break will melt that down once it comes topside. So it takes a while to, like, traverse the lab, given how big it is, but it's getting cleaned up. And then there's of course, like, the 1200 steel that's just, like, loose down here, which will be adding to this stockpile zone at some point. In fact, this stockpile zone, let's just do it like this. I'm gonna have it be over here, so it doesn't mess with the lab equipment. And it's hard to tell, but, like, the wealth graph is on a downward trend, despite the fact that we're, like, adding stuff to the base. So it is working, that as we devalue the lab, the colony wealth is decreasing. Which is a good thing. There's never any good wildlife to hunt. Emus that are, like, insanely aggressive and boomlobes that explode on you. So the multi-analyzer researched. The intention is to get fabrication, but obviously we're going to need the multi-analyzer built first. So in the meantime, while I wait, let's research deep drilling, because deep drilling is also going to remedy a lot of our resource shortages, I think. And that also means we're going to need at least one nugget of gold. I have the plasteel, and I have the, not the components yet. So Aggro needs to stay topside today and mine gold and components, and then pray that we have enough available to us to actually build a fabricator. To be able to source our own materials. Can deep drilling be done only inside the base area? Yes. Potentially, yes. And that is, of course, like... that's a good point. We're almost done. Like, the amount of deep drilling research that we were to get. I guess long-range mineral scanner makes more sense, especially if we got a shuttle and parked it in the bay down here. So given that information, is there something better that we could do? Long blades would be pretty good for red mist, and that will be like an instant completion. That won't take any time at all. The reason why I haven't considered shields is we don't have the resources for it. So it's the same issue that we have with everything else, which is I just don't have components to dedicate towards it. I didn't poll on it, so I'm not looking for feedback. Would be the better option. If I wanted input, I would put a poll up. So I'm hoping that there's enough components left. There's obviously still the Ancient Danger. I haven't tapped into there. But I'm hoping that there's enough components left on the map for us to actually get the fabrication up. Because if not, we're going to have to go resource exploit like other map tiles. Which is not fun. Ooh, this is a big node though, so that's good. Alright, Flip, let's give you a break. And Flip managed to remove the floors for the sterile labs. There's still a lot of other floors that potentially we want to get rid of. But as far as I can tell, everything that needs to be broken down has been broken down, and all that's left is like hauling, more or less. So the next injection will be break fire once red mist is up. The break fire is going to queue up for another injection, getting another archite gene and negative gene. Or becoming a genetic monster, or it fails. I mean, who knows? But I'll run a prediction once that's once he goes in. I kind of wish there was okay, Longblade's got research. I kind of wish there was a cooldown. A visible cooldown for the coma. I think the reason why there isn't is it's like a variable depending on the lab equipment. But I don't know why they just didn't make that number visible. It wouldn't have cost them anything. But we got long blades, we have the multi-analyzer, and now we're going to get fabrication. And I have 12 components, and 10 is needed for the fabricator, so like barely any wiggle room. But yeah, enough that we'll be able to get the fabricator and make our own components from scratch, which is super useful. And I think there's one more site for compacted machinery. So it wasn't as close as I thought it would be. Yeah, there's a little bit left. Yeah, and the drone site component too. Good point. All right, Flip back into the vault. Cleaning it up. So, I don't believe there's any more... Nope, there's no more known compacted machinery. So the amount of components we have is it. We have 22, and at least 10 of them are going to be for the fabricator themselves. Got it. Should be plenty. So before this one decays away, let's grab that. And I'll search for components just in case I missed one. No, I didn't miss any. Well, there's 8 sitting on the ground here for whatever reason. So I guess I did miss some. Why? What was there? Hauling and then we stopped hauling randomly, I'm assuming? So I guess we have 31. Not bad. 31 plus 3. I think there's should be 3 down here. Yeah. So 34 total. That's not as close as I thought it would be. Come on, Red Mist, wake up from your coma so that we can implant in you. Taking forever, lady. He's like, well, I haven't napped in ages, so I'm just gonna stay here and fake a coma. I bet that happens. Probably not that often, but I bet that happens. One of the things I could consider... Yeah, I'm just gonna do it. Is make another research bench with all the extra materials that I have. So Red Mist is up. Red Mist is going to be cooking, and then I'll have Red Mist go and smash the rest of the crates that are left. But that also means that you are all set for a xenogerm implantation of the Inu xenogen. And, let's see. Surge success chance 95% is probably the best one, so you, Breakfire, grab the scalpel. What is it now? 105? Okay, so I can only ever critical fail. Perfect. So here we go. So let's break down the old benches and make a new one. I'll organize the room better in a minute. It's a bit of a mess, I know. Here or here? This way leaves more room. Makes the room more open, so I'll do that like that. Where are the raids? I mean, you know, they're... Randy was really mean right at the start of the stream with 2 diseases, psychic ship. You know, so I think this is Randy's, like, nice cycle, for lack of a better term. But, you know, that might flip back to mean again. Who knows? Alright, aggro's back down to the vault. So in about a day, we're gonna have Breakfire go through a cycle. He's next queue. There we go. Super lab. And we'll make more medicine in a minute once we get some more heal root. Things are looking up. So Red, grab that breach axe. Are your needs met? More or less. Let's go. Actually, keep cooking. There's not a lot of good meals. And speaking of which, I'm going to have Aggro, once he's topside, hunt the boomlopes. But most of the slag has been hauled away. There's only 17 chunks left, and then it's just a matter of fetching the rest of the junk. What I am eager for is to get, like, actual armor, because we don't have any actual armor, and that would be a bit of a game changer as well, because we're running around in, like, patient gowns, and I well know that that is not really going to keep us protected from anything, you know, during real combat. So it's another goal. Yes, the basement is massive. It's actually larger, significantly larger than our footprint above ground. But for balancing reasons, I only use it for the gene lab. Ah, Red Mist and Flippers getting engaged. Maybe he's a necrophiliac. Too soon. And a bulk goods. Oh. That could be really useful. Hey, Red. Let's go talk to them. Well, they have components, but I don't think I really need to buy them anymore. Like, we're doing all right for components. They have plasteel, but I don't really need to buy plasteel either. They have some weird books. Medieval leadership, which is for social and plants. I don't know what kind of medieval leader you were, but like, that's not one I've ever heard of. Naturamine might make the most sense so that we can continue making high quality meds. And I'm not really sure we need anything else besides that. I could also part with the obsidian, only because there's so much obsidian on this map tile that I'm not too worried about it exhausting the obsidian here. So I'll do that as well. And yep, as I had feared, it landed on the lava. So Red Mist, go grab it. So, 7 hours left. Perhaps moving the beacon somewhere else? That won't help at all. I mean, I could try to move the beacon here, but then that's a whole different risk. To explain, when raiders attack you, they land on the oldest installed beacon that you have on the map tile that has an adjacent open, like, spot on the floor. Which means that if I move the beacon in here, raiders could also land in there. But as long as the beacon is here, raiders will land here. I'd rather not have raiders land in my base, so I'm not moving the beacon. I'd rather have it be inconvenient for me and inconvenient for the raiders than convenient for me and deadly raiders. Deadly raiders sounds really dumb, and I don't want to make a dumb decision. So the full TLDR is wherever your beacon is, raiders can land there too, unless you have a bait beacon. But in this run, I can't have bait beacons, so it just is what it is. It's gonna be here. It's not gonna be moved. It's annoying, but it's just the way it is. Bait beacons impossible. Yes. I think you know why. As I just explained, we do not build anything outside the vault. Nothing. Nothing goes outside. Nothing at all. Which means, bait beacons are impossible. With Flipper's inspiration, I'm going to have you guys decide what to make. So he could do billiards, royal bed, or double bed. Those are the only three I'm going to consider. The reason why I'm not considering poker is the foosball tables have incredibly high rec power. So the benefit of a poker or chess table is like, you know, non-existent. All right, Inu is up and at 'em with the new Dead Calm, Fast Wound Healing, Reduce Pain jeans. Awesome. And that means Breakfire, you are all set for your own implantation. All right, aggro, enter. If you're wondering about the chance, so it's a 5-day coma. Let's briefly install the splice frame just to see the math here, because this will be a predicted. So there's a 56% chance of success, 24 of rejection, and then the mutation chance is abnormally higher because of the splice frame uplink, which I'll uninstall before we go through the cycle. So just showing you the math. And there's the prediction. And I guess I'll keep aggro down here, cleaning up the rest of Slag until he's tired. Yeah, he's still grabbing Slag. Red Mist. You are gonna get sent down there next. Aggro needs a break. After she's finished making those meals, I'll send her down and have her smash up the crates. Even more Slag. And she decided to sleep on the floor, so I'll have her exit. So I'm going to cancel exiting here and then re-exit. And then this is the 11 Slag that exists left to be kicked out. And then everything else will be hauled into the stockpile before then exiting, so that we don't grab it partial stacks at a time. Do the vents get hot enough to get rid of bodies? No. They do not. But even if they did, it wouldn't help us at all, because moving a corpse into our lab with aggro means that everyone's going to see a corpse, like, probably it's a lot more hauling and a lot less beneficial because it requires multiple steps. Okay, we have breachers. That's funny. They're all meleeers? Okay. Rally up. So red mist. Grab a gladius. Where's your gladius? And it looks like we're gonna go for billiards. So rec billiards out of limestone, and we'll install it here. With flip, you know, once we're not like being attacked. So yeah, I mean, just think of the logistics of trying to move a corpse into this room. On top of that, the lung rot of moving corpses in an enclosed space with no like ventilation, honestly, is horrifying. Like the largest no thank you I can possibly express. It nearly got everyone tox-lunged the last time we were down there for those like splice mutation dudes. Fan out. Yes, keep chasing red mist. Where is Val going? No, Red, you don't need to see corpses. Okay, that's like half of them. I don't know. I think those were the breachers without breach axes, which is why they came separate from their crew. But these are all meleeers too. I don't really know what's going on with this raid. They're a weird raid. Trying to get him to chase red. Nope, don't fire. What are you? Oh, okay. Yeah. That's not a dead end, so yeah, just keep running. And this is a pretty good example of why I wasn't considering ever having more than just like one person at a time have a coma, because like we can't be short-handed without a lot of risk. Okay. Because they were all meleeers, that was really easy. I'm gonna have aggro start cleaning up the corpses, and everyone else stay away from the fleeing enemies. Break will be out in four days. Hopefully with good news. Alright, Flip. Your job is to make the best billiards table we've ever seen. Now, the only problem with the billiards table is the trapped underground benefit is going to go away as a result of not using the horseshoe pin. So it actually, oddly enough, has like a downside to if we get a good one. But, you know, so be it. Why are we having... Oh, I don't generate enough power. Yeah, let's get another. I still have a telescope. But yeah, instead of having 2 different rec types outside, it will only be the one. So it's still a disadvantage. Unless I, like, force march them around or whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's fine. But alright, Flip. That means you gotta start actually doing the work. He's just been, like, chilling. It's funny, I think that was the faction that had the peace talks. Yeah, it was. They're like, oh, you're not showing up to the peace talks? Well, we'll attack you. It's like, yeah, that's why you didn't show up to the peace talks, friend. Somehow I knew this was coming. Fabrication is almost at the halfway mark. Pretty close. And the current priority is still clean up the lab and gene, experiment, break fire. And let's hope it's a good gene. Sorry, Fluff. We never came to rescue you. We probably don't need to get as many simple meal or fine meals as we did before, because Red Mist doesn't need to stock them up ahead of time. If you are hauling sandstone clubs, you could be doing something more useful. So, into the pit. Down to 6 more slag chunks. Did I get every crate too? Yes, I did. Cool. So we're almost done with the, like, not flooring to be cleaned up, which is a good milestone, and soon that lab was just going to be devoid of anything of value, except for the lab equipment itself, which is good. With any luck, the billiards table will be really high quality and will drive up the impressiveness of the rec room, which could use some work. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and limestone tile this section up, because limestone tiles are going to be fancier than the steel, which doesn't really have any benefit. All right, come on, masterwork. Masterwork! Nice. So the rec power here is 182. Horseshoe pin out of commission. And once the floors are done, the impressiveness of the room should go back up to be a net positive. So now aggro is just like collecting stuff. Okay, you need to exit. Ready to be shunted out to surface once we're done. I like how we have this, like, masterwork billiards, and, like, aggro's like, okay, yep, horseshoe time. It's like, what? Why? Alright, break is about half done going through the cycle. I think the next major goal is going to be to start getting like better clothing. Because the clothing we have now is pretty horrid. Oh, great. Well, good job, Flip. I don't know if we're gonna hit a new threshold. I could have considered the jade too. Like I could make a jade table or something like that. Jade's probably best making into art. And Flip is an artist. I guess I could have included art as a potential thing for him to have made with his inspiration. I just didn't have an art bench at the time. Here we go. It's now 84. So it didn't go up a new tier, but it did go up a bunch. How many bullets have you? Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times we've shot you? Animal that doesn't know when to die. Oh, this needs a kicking. Not by red mist. Red mist would obliterate it. Zagro, because of all your recent murders, you are going to be sent into the vault to do some more tidying up. Because you are grabbing stuff lightning fast. How far has the incurable disease progressed? 40. Now, there is an argument to be made that we could, once it progresses a little bit more, open up the Ancient Danger. The issue is, I can put her in a pod, but I cannot claim the pod. Because as soon as I claim the pod, it is a colony-owned object outside of the vault, which violates the rules. But if it's just like a pod that we find in nature, that doesn't really violate the rules. With that in mind, it might make more sense to, once we get fabrication, work on getting Cryptosuit casket so we can make a casket inside the vault, which is far safer than just like leaving her out in the wild in like some random pod that someone else had been in previously. Oh, sorry, aggro. So that would cure her, but it would like buy me time for a cure. So once I have fabrication researched, what do you want me to research after that? So, I'm going to put up some options. Beer brewing. Psychoid tea. I'm not going to bother with the gene processor. I don't have enough genes to warrant that, I don't think. We could do long-range mineral. Do I have enough room for long-range mineral? Ooh, I might not. Because it takes 3 spaces, so I would have to get rid of the fuel line. I'd have to break this down. We could still do it, but I would have to break it. So I'll include it as a research option. Orbital tech for a vac barrier for the kitchen wouldn't be terrible. So orbital tech. Although I don't have any gravelite panels, but I could shop for some. That's not impossible. We could do precision rifling. Not a terrible idea. Let's see, what else? Looking around if there's anything. Shields, I guess? I don't have a lot of plasteel, but we could put it towards shields. Transport pod is an obvious one. If we want to like get somewhere, especially if paired with like long-range mineral scanning or questing or whatever. And then the Cryptosuit casket. Anything else I missed? I could research autocannon turrets, but I think until I have a reliable source of plasteel, that's like not worth it. So there we go. Them's the options. 5 minutes on the board. Fab is done. And it looks like tea is the popular option, so I'll start queuing that up. It's like a brewing, but you're absolutely welcome to like change your mind. I don't care. So Fab Bench, let's get that right here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld, the Stalwart Ancients, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow ancients.